Welcome, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. My name is El Nino, and I'm here to do your July 2025 predictions. This is part 3. I already did part 1 and 2 in 2 previous videos, so if you guys want to go check it out, I would appreciate it. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. Be sure to subscribe, click the notification bell, like the video, and comment down below if you like this video. And if you guys want me to do any other future predictions, any other content you guys want me to touch on, let me know. And we're going to get started in a second. Prediction number 1, I see that Trump will strike again towards Iran, and this will be suddenly and unexpectedly. So a sudden and unexpected strike towards Iran again. Okay, and this could tie into the ceasefire peace treaty agreements that we saw in June, and I said in my other predictions that I see that is not going to last. So I see that picking up back up again, especially after July 7th. I see that especially when Gemini enters Uranus, I see that there's going to be an increase in war and tensions, and arguments are going to escalate again. And I also see that Israel and Gaza's 60-day peace treaty will come to an end quickly. And I see that they're going to strike again. And I see that any promises that are made right now or future plans, I see that is going to change. I don't see that following through. I actually did write down in my predictions false promises from Netanyahu towards Gaza, so I still see that it's going to break. Okay, and I also did see that Israel was going to even possibly plan like construction of Gaza, like reconstructing like buildings, the architecture, the food and water services aid. I just see that being severed again. Okay, prediction number 2, I see that the US is going to have continuation of heat waves and going into the fall and also around the world. So summer is going to last much longer, friends. It's going to seep into fall, and it's hot right now. I'm in California. I literally have the window open and it's so hot. So I see that I would turn on my fan, but otherwise y'all can't hear me. So that's why I'm like, oh my gosh, kind of dying. But I see that there's going to be a lot of heat waves. I also do see that there's going to be resulting in that there's going to be a lot of deaths inside the United States. Okay. Now we know Europe has had massive heat waves, which I mentioned, I believe, in my May 2025 predictions, and I still see Europe being hot. You know, certain countries evacuating, especially around like Greece, France, Turkey, Germany. I'm seeing Germany and Spain evacuations with wildfires, people having to leave certain parts of Germany and just parts of Europe. And I see another big heat wave coming in September. So it's going to be all over the world. And I just see that because of that, there's going to be a result of casualties in the United States, especially amongst older seniors. So senior centers, they have to be more, careful, make sure they monitor the seniors and all that. Make sure the air conditioner is on. So that's for anyone watching. Make sure you have AC and everything. Okay. There's also going to be power grid issues as well. So major power outages in big cities. And I'll touch on that in my other prediction. Okay. Prediction number 3, planned attacks towards the US. So terroristic attacks. This could be connecting to the Israel-Iran war. And I was feeling very strongly that Iran was plotting attacks, but they're going to be inside attacks, like sleeper cell attacks, you'd say. But I see that there are people already here, okay? And I see Iran already planning things this month, and I see certain high-risk cities, such as Los Angeles, Chicago, Illinois, Houston, Texas, I heard Indiana, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Ohio, Washington, D.C., Washington State, Oregon, Miami, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, And if I didn't say New York City as well. And then I also see Phoenix, Arizona, and San Francisco, California as well being targeted for. This could be a number of things: car bombings, mass shootings, allegedly. I forgot to say everything's alleged in this video. Hotels, stores, clubs being targeted in certain states, especially the big cities. But I see a lot of like events coming up. So from July 4th, which is in 2 days, it is July 2nd right now, I'm filming this. I see July 4th up until the end of July, even in August. These are high risk cities. Okay. Yeah. Also, Memphis, Tennessee stood out to me as well. Prediction number 4, we are going to have a rise with attacks and attempts towards politicians. I already said that I see an assassination coming up for President Donald Trump. I mean, an assassination attempt. I don't see that it's going to be successful. And I'm wearing the colors red. So, yeah, he could be wearing something red. Like, in presidents wear like the ties. I see like a red color around him. Or something about red, surrounded in red could be significant as well. But I see he's going to survive this one. I also see that there's going to be multiple political leaders. So also in the states that I mentioned above, the other prediction, I see that there's going to be, if you're a mayor, if you're a governor, if you're a Democrat, even if you're a Republican, I see that you're going to, you got to be careful, is what I'm seeing here. Even lawyers, like P. Diddy's legal team, I see, they're going to have people make threats towards them because they will not be happy with the outcome of the verdict, which I predicted before. So P. Diddy's legal team, lawyers have to be very careful. I see threats towards them. I also see threats towards the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, but I see that he is going to, it's like an assassination attempt, but then I see his life being taken. Okay. And it'll be deemed like an assassination, and it'll be like a killing, basically, allegedly. I'm sorry, an offing is what I'm seeing. And I see he will pass away. And I'm seeing like an explosion, so it's going to be very sudden and shocking to the world, but this is also going to create a regime change with Iran, okay? Another political figure I see is Zohran Mamdani, the New York City nominee for the mayor. He needs to be careful. I see that he is going to have people make threats towards him, and I'm seeing more assassination threats, maybe even stalking, where maybe they might find where he lives, and there might be some energy around that. So he needs to be careful, okay? Number 6, I see that King Charles will be suddenly hospitalized due to a health crisis. He's not going to pass away, but I do see his health is going to be another issue coming up this month. So I see him being hospitalized. I feel like this could happen around the end of a week, towards the weekend is what I'm seeing, and possibly late evening, early hours of the morning, I see him hospitalized. Okay. Prediction number 7, I see that, again, summers will last longer into the fall. September heat wave is going to come and it's going to hit. All right. Prediction number 7, I see a lot of AI discoveries this month, especially when it comes to how we communicate with animals such as sea creatures like whales, dolphins, even domestic animals. We're going to have new scientists do researches, new things coming out about that. Also discoveries to solve hard crime cases, so unsolved murders, unsolved crimes. There's going to be new AI technology for crime solvers. and also fingerprints as well. And also I see missing persons cases with AI to like identify missing persons and to solve missing persons. Very hard cases I see. Okay. Also, I just heard Jack the Ripper, so there might be a connection with AI trying to maybe solving or using that method to solve the Jack the Ripper case. All right, number 8, I see a spaceship rocket explosion. Basically, like what we saw with SpaceX with Elon Musk, I see that there's going to be something similar, and I'm seeing people inside. At least 3 to 11 people I see inside this spaceship slash rocket spacecraft thing, and I see it like lifting up, like launching, and then it exploding. All right, and I see people inside. Number 9, I see that we're going to have 3 specific submarine incidents and slash accidents coming up for the month of July. And I'm also seeing that we're going to have issues with underwater cables being cut, either intentional or by natural disasters such as earthquakes, underwater volcanoes, tsunamis, climate change, solar flares. And I see that there's also going to be certain countries that are going to be uniting together in order to connect these underwater cables together. A big emphasis on underwater cables, especially submarine underwater cables. So we're going to see that. And I see that there's also going to be, I'm seeing 3. So 3 incidences, 3 people in a submarine, or something about the numbers 3 underwater cable lines, 3 areas. We're going to see something like that, okay? And what happens when underwater cables get cut, underwater cables, power goes out, internet goes out. So we're going to see a lot of that as well. And some of this will be intentional. Number 10, I see we're going to have underwater. Yeah, I said that underwater cables cut, cause outages, internet. We have number 11. We have underwater cars under oceans, and it reminded me of like the SeaWorld tunnel when you're in the I know we all been to SeaWorld, and you have like the tunnel going through, and you have all the fish up around you. Kind of like if I'm looking at you, but there's stuff all around me, and I'm under the water. I see something like that, like in a tunnel with cars being driven in under oceans or underwater, okay? Number 12, I see the largest ground flight delays for all airlines, airplanes, any type of aircraft, but mainly I'm seeing airports experiencing daily delays. And I feel like July and August are going to be the most like cause delays in record-breaking history. And we're gonna see something very like just every day you're gonna hear about planes being canceled, okay? Due to aviation accidents, weather, tsunamis, cyber hackings, accidents with planes. You're gonna just see a lot of delays, so expect a lot of delays. Delays and delays and delays, and it's going to be recorded as one of the largest ground delays for airplanes and airports shutting down in history, or for a long time is what I see. All right, and it's going to be global. Number 14, I see that we're going to have an airline, a U.S. airline plane that will suddenly drop. So it's kind of like what I said in my other prediction. I said this before actually, where we're going to see planes that are going to all of a sudden just fall because everything turns off. Like it's like when you're driving a car, what happens? The car stops, right? It's going to happen like that with planes where, I mean, I'm not laughing, but I'm seeing planes literally in the air and all of a sudden like that. Okay, some of them could lead to people really bad accidents. Some will be controlled, and also see certain planes as they're taking off from airports, going to their destination, will have that where it's like boom, And hopefully it's not too far up, because some of these planes will just be, as they're right going up, boom, and that might be luckier. Other people, passengers, may not be so lucky. Okay. I also do see there's going to be hot air balloon accidents. So anything aviation, big airlines. I see another big airline, commercial airline, and it could be, like I said, around America. Also see one in Europe, either going towards Europe or coming from Europe, and it looks like it's going to be a disaster. Okay. Hopefully that is just a prediction and doesn't come true, but that is what I'm seeing. Prediction number 15, I see that we are going to have major hackings with banks in the United States in the month of July. So big banking companies like Citibank, Bank of America, Chase Bank, Wells Fargo, any even small banks. I see that there's going to be bank hackings and cyber hackings with banks. And this could be, again, connected to Iran. Remember I said in my other video that Iran is getting to us through internet. So expect your networks to act funny, social media apps, even like Facebook having outages, TikTok having outages, WhatsApp, X having outages. We're going to see a lot of outages with social media networks again, and some will last for, I'm seeing one can probably last about 2 days, while the rest will last for a few hours, and it'll be in different areas, so different parts of the United States, parts of the UK, Europe, and even Australia, and even India as well. We're going to see it all over. And we're going to also see like cyber outages with certain well-known like online stores like Amazon, Apple Store, Google Play Store. We're going to see outages with those systems. Also, we're going to see even outages, which is ironic, with media outlets like CNN, Daily Mail, New York Times, LA Times. We're going to see hackings, glitches in their like websites, their articles. We're going to see a news report making a news report on a news reporter or news site that is hacked. It's kind of interesting how that's going to play out. And I see news stations having outages, major news stations. We're going to see just a lot of things happening this month. And some of it will be power grid related too, due to the solar flares. Some of it will be weather, of course, destructive weather, earthquakes. But a lot of it is also cyber hackings. Okay? Yeah. Even hospitals, and we're going to just see a lot of those things happening. All right. Number 16, we're going to see an increase in meteor and asteroids in the world. We're also going to see a lot of weird things falling from the sky. Like, and I'm not talking about planes or just planes. I'm seeing like weird things from like space or random things coming from the sky. Even certain insects, birds just falling out of nowhere, dropping from the sky literally. Yeah, I'm seeing like animals here too. Strange cloud formations as well is what I predict. So we're gonna have strange, pay attention, strange cloud formations. Those clouds are gonna be giving us a lot of signs, not only weather-wise, but also spiritually. We're going to see a lot of things in the clouds, like a lot of signs. We're going to see weird cloud colors hitting certain cities, certain skies in certain regions. Also, I see certain areas like coastal areas having very strange cloud formations. And we're going to see even a city that's covered in fog in like a heat wave. There's like a fog, it's like 90 degrees and it's fog outside. It's going to be very weird weather, but this also ties into climate change. Okay. Number 18, we're going to see changes in the cardinal direction. So like The compass that says north, south, west, east, I see changes, switches during with the Earth's atmosphere, so maybe the directions might change. What is north will be south, what is west will be east, what is east will turn west. Something will switch with the cardinal directions. Something like that. I know it's kind of like what, but I'm seeing something like that. Number 19, China makes major threat towards Taiwan and also the Philippines. And I see that it's going to be more like, I feel like China's going to show off. They're going to be kind of also labeled as like the Trump, the president's going to be like the Trump of Asia, the Trump of China. A lot of countries in Asia may look at China in disgust because certain things that they're going to do. And I see China being very aggressive, very forceful, very cocky. And I see that a lot of countries are going to kind of have a distaste for that. And I see China declaring some type of an invasion slash war, especially towards Taiwan and even the Philippines, especially with like sea ships, military ships, and also inland areas. But I feel like this is a lot of talk is what I'm seeing. But I see that, countries in Asia are also going to be preparing. So we're going to hear about something like that, okay? Number 20, major media company like CNN, Daily Mail will be called out and will face lawsuits. So a lot of people are going to be very pissed off because we're going to have a lot of situations where news sites, we know that they deceive a lot, right? They tell clickbait, but they're going to go to an extreme level where when certain disasters happen, events, they're going to like either lie about it or they're going to do something that's going to enrage a lot of people. And I see a lot of people being called out, and I also see lawsuits being thrown at them or threats of lawsuits. And I even see certain employers, reporters being fired and resigned. Okay, and I do see a big apology statement coming out as well from these news companies. And I see even politicians, presidents, people calling them out, and it's going to be news headlines. All right. Number 21, underwater volcano eruption. I did mention this before. I see around the Pacific Ocean, we're going to have underwater volcano eruptions. This could be off the coast of the West Coast, parts of Asia. A lot of shaking underwater, okay? And I see an underwater volcano, especially around Yellowstone. I see Yellowstone's going to be very active. I don't see a full-blown eruption, but I see activities. But I also do see there's going to be Camp Porigi is going to have the volcano eruption. I see like volcano evacuations being given there, as well as another one happening in Indonesia. This one could even be underwater or a volcano in Indonesia. I see people are going to be evacuating again, just like I predicted, I think, last month. And I see underwater earthquakes hitting Asia, big earthquakes around Japan. Like I did say in May, July, we're going to see a lot of earthquakes. And we already so far have. And I see a big earthquake coming towards Japan. And I see it's going to be, there's going to be tsunamis, warnings, tsunami warnings and tsunamis. And I see coast of Taiwan, coast of China being affected with these tsunamis due to these earthquakes, okay? But I see earthquakes happening around all parts of Asia. Yeah. And due to this, I'm seeing like a big bridge collapsing in Asia due to earthquakes. And I see that a lot of people are going to be trapped. Feels like I'm in Asia. I could also be in the United States too, but we're going to hear about a big major bridge collapsing and thousands of people get stuck. And I feel like this is connected to an earthquake, maybe even a flooding, but I see a big earthquake. All right. Prediction number 22, like I mentioned, underwater earthquakes strike Asia, affects multiple countries around Asia, and I see tsunamis and tsunami warnings, and I see underwater volcanoes being active that are going to cause also earthquakes, and we're going to just see a lot of crazy stuff around there. And a lot of people, there'll be many casualties, many people that will pass. And this may not all happen this month. Okay, this could happen by the end of this year, but I see a lot of earthquake activity, especially in Asia during the months of July and August. Also do see that there's going to be earthquakes again hitting, again, because we talked about earthquakes striking Iran, Israel. I'm seeing Tel Aviv having really, I'm seeing a big earthquake shaking that area, Egypt, north, like around that area. India, I see a big earthquake hitting India, especially around the coast. We're going to see tsunami warnings issued also towards the southern parts of India, towards the Indian Ocean. I'm seeing a lot of just countries in Asia having earthquakes and tsunami warnings, and like I did say, tsunamis hitting, like I said, around the countries I stated before. I'm seeing a tsunami warning, a small tsunami warning for like Israel, like the coast of Israel. Even Greece is going to have another earthquake. And Turkey I see being striked again. So I see big earthquakes hitting that part of the world again. Yeah. It's crazy, y'all. All right. Prediction number 25. I see that we're going to hear about some interesting news about Vlad Dracula from Transylvania. Vlad the Impaler, I believe. The Impaler? The Impaler, if am I saying it right? The vampire guy from Romania. We're going to see some news about him, like something about where he's buried or where he's located. There may be some news about something about that. I couldn't pinpoint exactly. I see a Buddhist temple catching fire from a heat wave. Okay, so this could be in Asia, or this could be a Buddhist temple anywhere, but I'm seeing a Buddhist temple in a heat wave, and it kind of made me feel like I was in Cambodia or Vietnam, around that part of Asia, and I see like really heat waves. And I'm seeing like even like the temples being kind of like affected, like the structure is like even like, I don't want to say melting, but certain things it'll like a change with the architecture due to the solar flares I'm seeing. All right. Prediction number 26. I see more people being very spiritually inclined. So spirituality is going to be very popular. So astrologers, psychics, tarot readers, predictors, prophets, prophetesses are going to be very highlighted in the months of July, August, and even up until going into 2026. I see a lot of people trusting, believing more in what people are saying, because a lot of people are going to be getting a lot of messages. And I'm seeing them being more incorporated into mainstream media, social media. And if you are also someone that, does do this, you might notice you'll have a lot more, not only you get more messages, but I see you'll have more people that will be following you. All right. Prediction number 26. We're going to talk about 27. We're going to talk about little conflict I saw. Like I said, we have Gemini entering Uranus July 7th, which is going to increase tensions with war. Okay. The U.S. is going into that, by the way. U.S. is going into that on July 7th. So that makes me feel like the U.S. is going to be involved in conflicts again, or conflicts are going to resurface with the Middle East and also other parts of the world. But I'm seeing something about Syria. Syria is going to have some conflict with Israel and also Turkey. I put betrayal. And this could be connected to an aiding Iran with something, or Iran being in Syria, doing something in Syria against Israel. And it looks like Israel might get mad at Syria, and this could be involving starting in a war, where Syria might get involved, or Syria is going to have tensions. And I see also Turkey's going to be very mad towards. Turkey's going to get involved in the war. I also saw in my other prediction, I said again, I see something about France getting involved with the war in the Middle East. I'm not saying a full-blown war, but I see them coming up again, and also the UK. I'm seeing the UK getting involved again in some way this month, making the presence known in the Middle East. I don't think they want to get really involved, but I see something's going to happen where they're going to step in and they're going to make their presence known. Probably a military base could get hit, or something about a military base could be breached, and the UK gets involved. All right. I see that there's going to be also, we're going to see a lot of people trapped. Prediction number 29, many people will be trapped because of earthquakes, hurricanes, floods, natural disasters, even mines, people getting stuck in mountains, plains, anything you could think of, neighborhoods. I'm seeing people being trapped a lot this month, and I see humanitarian efforts being made to rescue certain people, and other people will not be rescued, and that's going to cause controversy, but we're going to see people being trapped. And there's going to be a big situation where we see, this could be due to an earthquake. Like I said, maybe in Asia, with Asia having an earthquake. This could also be in the United States. Something also in Puerto Rico, the Caribbean. We might see some type of crisis happen due to earthquakes, hurricanes. And this could also be the bridge I just said earlier. We're going to see something with people being trapped, and where it's like we're going to see, it's going to be all over the news, and we're going to see countries being sent to this specific area to aid this specific country. So this may not be the United States. It might be around Asia, maybe South America, maybe the Caribbean, but I'm getting around Asia is what I'm seeing. Okay. Prediction number 30, I see a big tropical storm is going to hit Florida and the Caribbean. And I see an early hurricane coming up for Florida, either late July, around August. I see this could be a category 3 or category 4. And then I also do see that there's going to be another hurricane hitting Mexico, coming from the Pacific Ocean. And it's going to be centered around like Baja area, also parts of San Diego. I feel like this could happen later this month, if not going into August, but I see hurricanes picking up. And that one in Mexico could be like a category 2 or 3 is what I feel. And the Florida or around the Gulf could be a 3 or 4 is what I see. All right. Let me see. So that's my predictions, y'all. I did have 2 more things that just popped in my mind right now. Oprah Winfrey just came to my mind. Something about Oprah Winfrey and some maybe legality issues. Is it like some type of raid, some type of something about Oprah Winfrey? And also Katy Perry stood out to me. I see Katy Perry's going to have some type of crisis mentally due to her ending with her fiance Orlando Bloom. There might be this article that comes out about her being in distress. I think she's going to be okay, but I see that we're going to hear about maybe some type of mental health crisis with her, like a 5150 or something involving police due to her mental state or depression. Yeah. We're also going to see that there's going to be a unsolved murder case that is going to shock the world, and it's going to be something that it's like maybe someone confesses something, or we find evidence about who this person was. I feel like we're going to get shocked by some type of case that comes out. or a shocking case happens and it kind of reminds people of a case that happened years before with a celebrity. That's also something that I'm seeing. All right, maybe it could be a drowning, something about a ship or water could be significant. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing for this predictions, y'all. I will be going now and I will post this and I will see y'all tomorrow. Stay safe. Bye.